the SO07, who called the storm, the British Empire's royal magician and a language not of this earth. 4 centuries before James Bond swept across global cinema screens, his legendary code name was already appearing in the top-secret correspondence of the British royal family. Those 2 circles represented eyes, and the long hook meant they were the Queen's eyes only, open for her and her alone. The owner of this code was not a gun-toting agent, but a polymathic master of astrology, an alchemist, and a man rumored to be a storm-summoning sorcerer, John Dee. Today, we return to 6th century England to unravel a buried legend. We will see how the original 07 used astrology, scrying mirrors, and a mysterious language not of this earth to change the destiny of a weak island nation, ushering in the golden age of the British Empire. Escaping death, the stars of the Virgin Queen. John Dee's legend began at the doorstep of death. Before Elizabeth I ascended the throne, England was ruled by the infamously cruel Bloody Mary. At the time, Dee was thrown into a death cell on charges of treason through black magic for secretly casting a natal chart for Princess Elizabeth and predicting the Queen's death. Through his masterful skill in astrological defense, he miraculously escaped the gallows. When Queen Mary died and the 25-year-old Elizabeth received the news of her succession while under house arrest, the first thing she did was summon the newly released astrologer to her side. Elizabeth commanded him to calculate the most auspicious day for her coronation. Through complex ephemeris calculations, Dee selected January 15, 1559. He told the Queen that the celestial alignment that day would form a perfect, energetic barrier, granting her a long and enduring reign. In an era where monarchs had short lifespans and coups were frequent, Elizabeth reigned for 45 years, sparking an unprecedented era of cultural and economic prosperity. This was not just astrology, it was political magic, using the stars to instill faith in an entire nation. The Enochian mystery, a language from beyond. After stabilizing the Queen's power, Dee's explorations turned toward a chilling depth. He possessed the largest private library in England, yet he believed that the knowledge in human books had reached its limit. He felt he must seek the Empire's blueprint from higher dimensional beings. With the Queen's silent approval and funding, Dee began scrying, using a black obsidian mirror. He claimed to have successfully contacted legendary angels. While this sounds like madness, what truly terrifies modern linguists and cryptographers is that Dee did not simply invent a myth. He recorded an entirely new, incredibly complex language with its own independent grammar and alphabet, Enochian. Enochian is not a random jumble of letters. Modern scholars have found its pronunciation to be eerie and its syntax so rigorous that it seems impossible for a 16th century human to have forged it. Dee firmly believed this was the source code of the universe. A magical program that drove reality through sound and symbols. The Protestant wind, the sorcerer versus the armada. If Enochian seems too ethereal, the War of 1588, which decided the course of world history, canonized Dee as a living god. That year, the superpower of the age, Spain, sent its invincible Spanish armada to crush England in a single blow. The English fleet was vastly outnumbered and outgunned. The nation was paralyzed by panic. However, after observing meteorological astrological charts, Dee calmly advised the Queen, "Do not attack. Keep the fleet in defense. The stars show that the fury of the Atlantic will fight for us." A miracle happened. Just as the Spanish fleet prepared to land, a violent storm, later known as the Protestant wind, swept across the Atlantic. This freakishly fierce hurricane scattered the massive Spanish fleet. Most of the warships sank, and England won without a direct battle. While folklore insists, Dee summoned the storm with Enochian magic. Rational historians believe he used his profound knowledge of astrometeorology to accurately forecast the storm's arrival. Whether through magic or advanced science, he used the sky to shield the British Empire from total annihilation. After the storm subsided, Dee began traveling across Europe under the guise of exchanging alchemical and astrological secrets. In reality, this was the perfect cover for his role as a 07 agent. Using the European royalty's obsession with the occult, he easily infiltrated various courts, sending a steady stream of intelligence back to London. He was not only an astrologer but also the first person to coin the very concept of the British Empire. The partnership between John Dee and Queen Elizabeth was the most fascinating pas de deux of that era. Together, they proved that the highest realm of power is the perfect fusion of science, intelligence, and the occult. Centuries later, the codename 007 still circulates, but the wise man who tried to see the universe's hidden hand through an obsidian mirror has become the most mysterious starlight in the history of human exploration. Thank you for watching this video.